Good evening. We are coming to you live this evening. It's 8 o'clock, and our Tuesday night call is going to be week 4 of 4-week series of the 4 color personalities. Now, this week is the color yellow, and we have Lou Lynn as our guest speaker. Lou is a true yellow, and so we're so excited for her to share with us all that she knows, all that she feels because she lives it. She's yellow, guys. And so we deal with lots of yellow personalities out there. And I don't know about you, but I might be offensive to a yellow personality if I didn't understand them. Likewise, we might not be able to connect if we didn't realize that our personalities were different. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Lou Lynn. Lou, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us on this call tonight.
Jamie, I've been so excited all day, and I just thank you guys so much for having me. And it's funny that I'm the one talking about this because, yes, I'm yellow up, down, and all around. But I'm so yellow that I didn't even know anything about that color personalities test for the longest time. And because with me, with my yellow, that kind of professional development was something I thought I wasn't interested in. And I'm going to cover some of that as we go along. But yes, yellow, yellow, yellow. And it's funny because my mama has always had yellow rooms in our houses since I was born. It's her favorite color. And when we talk about yellows, the first thing I want to talk to you about is what yellows are not, because I think that yellow is probably the most misunderstood color personality that there is. Yellows are not weak. They're not timid and shy. Now, some people's personalities might be that way, that they're not as outgoing. But just because you're yellow doesn't mean that you're not sure about yourself or not confident and willing to talk to people. When I was writing down my notes and reading over for this call, the same thing just kept coming to my mind over and over about yellow. And it's like all the feels, people. We got all the feels. And yellow people are passionate. They're passionate about helping others. They're more passionate. We are more passionate about seeing other people reach their goals than we are about ours. And I taught elementary school for 12 years until 10 years ago when I got really sick and had to retire. But it was my yellow personality that helped me pour into those children the way that I did, to spend those long hours without a lot of pay, because I genuinely cared about those kids more than I cared about me or my time or what I had to sacrifice. So when it came to business, I thought that teaching would kind of just transfer over, and it was a whole different ballgame. So when I first started, my business grew very quickly, guys. Like, just out of the blue, I didn't even want a business, but or thought I didn't want a business. But all my friends were just messaging me because they had seen me bedridden for years. So they saw me up. I actually joined because I had someone wanting to order. I'm like, Shannon, I don't even know how to do this. And so within 3 months, I double ranked in November to senior. I ranked gold and senior gold. And it was like crazy. I didn't know what was going on. Honestly, can I tell you something? I really didn't care what was going on. And I know some people would go, oh, you should have been thankful. I was thankful. Totally thankful to God for this provision coming in and the things going on in my life. But I wasn't like super focused on business. I was still super focused on my life. And actually, my husband and I had a conversation as soon as I hit senior gold. It was the night before Thanksgiving. And I said, what do we want to do with this? And he said, what do you mean? I said, should we just we know now, I think that month I made a little over $2,000. And I was like, we know how much money I'm making and the amount of effort. Should we just kind of sit back and enjoy this? Because y'all, that much money changed everything for us. So I'm like, or should we go for it? And he was doing something at the stove and he was quiet a minute and he said, look, I'll support you in anything you want to do, but I believe in you and I know you can do this. I went, well, let's do it. And it was in the minute that I said, let's do it, that God spoke to me very clearly. He said, the money for your ministry is right in front of your face. And I'd never really thought about it. In those 3 months had been such a, this explosion of growth. But I never really thought about Plexus being ministry, Plexus funding these ministries that God had laid on my heart. So my perspective did change then, but just because my perspective changed didn't mean that I had totally changed. So we're going to start talking about how you can connect with yellows, how to reach out to yellows, all the good stuff about yellows. And when I finish tonight, I'm going to read you some things from my upline and one of my best friends in the world, Shannon McComber, who is totally green. And I want to talk to you about how we have embraced each other's personalities and differences to make this business work. So first of all you yellows, or you guys that have yellows on your team, I want you to understand that although, yes, yellow is my primary color, yellows always have another color that goes along with it that might not be as prominent. The other color that I'd be closest to if I wasn't yellow is red. So that means I am very driven, guys. I can see the business. I can, I have goals and I want to go for them. And I had to learn, though, to develop that personality because yellow comes naturally to me. It's the way I've always lived. But I had to learn how to look at the strengths I have as a red and translate those into my business, because yellows can't be yellow. I have to learn to make business decisions. If you want to share with a yellow, go for the heart. Remember I said a minute ago, as a yellow, I am all about authentic relationships. I'm not a color, and I truly built my business off of real relationships. Now, I've expanded my network and made new relationships. For me, for things to be genuine, it has to be authentic. When you want to contact a yellow, don't hit them straight up with business and money and all that, because they're going to go, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear anything of that. I don't want to hear about that. What I want to hear is that you truly have compassion for them and empathy. Let's say it's someone that's had some illness and you want to contact them about the product. To them, that's what they're going to connect with. They want to hear how you want to help them, why you want to help them, why you think this is going to help them. If they are overwhelmed with you talking about the business and wholesale pricing and all this stuff, guys, you're going to lose them, because that's not how you get in. You have to get into a yellow through their heart. Speaking life over them, love and encouragement, and meeting them where they are emotionally, and to talk to them about the business opportunity. You can, of course, start focusing on that relationship first. If you don't have a strong relationship with a yellow on your team, into that yellow, you'll learn a lot from them too. A true relationship with them. Now, the thing about yellows, we can spot a fake relationship a mile away. We can generic copy and paste to your yellows. You do that like that and are not interested at all, because that's not genuine. That's not someone truly caring, truly reaching. Some colors, people that are straight up red, even green in different ways, they can appreciate a copy and paste, but not yellows. And attract yellows. All the feels. Post about your life and your family and what you're doing and how you're serving others. And I am passionate about why. It was my why. And because God gave me that why. I believe I was born with that why. I remember for me, when I was shifting gears, in my business, that I saw Cheyenne Weevil and some of the other jewels that had in Thailand for the sex slave trafficking, and that spoke volumes to me. I was attracted to that. Maybe attracted to attract that draws me and attracts me and just really pulls me in. And straight up business posts, I'm not attracted. Like when I see that graph and all that, okay, I'm getting messages that I've cut out. Can you still hear me, Tammy?
Yes, you're back on. You froze for a second, but you're working now.
Okay, did I leave? Did you miss something important when I was gone, or you don't know because you don't know what I said?
We don't know what it was. I was going to message you that you were frozen, but you're good now, so keep going.
Okay, I was talking about what attracts yellows, guys. If you attract yellows to your post, and personal victories, guys, the way you're serving others, the way others are serving you, true emotional posts. And I am not driven to that graphic, guys. I can remember when I first started seeing Plexus, I had so many adoptive mom friends that joined at the same time, and they post all that stuff. I couldn't care less, y'all. I scrolled right by it. It never caught me for a minute. And those kind of things didn't interest me. So if you want to attract them, again, be authentic about what you're passionate about. When you start sharing your passion for life, not just for Plexus, because yes, we're passionate about Plexus. But when you start sharing how your life and your passions and how Plexus starts weaving into that, a yellow's going to stop and go, wait, what? Like, you're helping people with that? I can help more people if I do that? Like this light bulb goes off. And charity, when people are talking about the charities they love to give to, it'll stop a yellow in our tracks. And I'm surrounded by mostly believers, and so to me, I believe that the true yellow comes from, am I cutting out again? Okay. And the true yellow comes from that place of really serving and loving others for God. So when you have that on your page and you have a yellow believer, we're going to stop. We're going to back up and we're going to read and look at things in a completely different way. So how would you coach a yellow through detox and die off? And my sweet, precious friend Shannon McComber is on here. And God bless her, who had never interacted with a yellow as much in her life as she has with me. I had lots of struggles, guys, because I suffered with autoimmune disorders for years. My body was pumped full of medication. I did not have a quick detox. 2.5 years later, we still have to work out different issues for my body. If she would have just given me a list of things, okay, I need to do this, just drink that water, do this and this. Because that's not real relationship. But she helped me. She would send me encouraging texts and still does. She would reach out to me and ask about this and that. I knew she really cared about me as a person. And I knew since she cared about me that she had my best interest at heart. And her encouraging me to continue even after I gained weight. Yes. She was the one that convinced me that, even if I was gaining some weight to get my body in balance, it was worth those few pounds to feel better and for the other parts of my life to be changing. And if she would have been just direct with me, I would have quit. So care about them as your friend, as the person that you just met and that's trusted you and come to this business, and spend some time with them. Let them feel those authentic, real feelings coming from you, and they'll plug in and want to stay. I love this one because our yellow's motivated by prizes. And you wouldn't think so. I am so motivated by prize. It's hysterical. I am not financially driven other than for ministry. But guys, you show me a prize. When it was time to earn the planner for, our Plexus planners, dove all in, obsessed and possessed about it. When it was time for that Garmin, which I don't even know if I'll ever really use much, it doesn't matter. I was like, Shannon, I got to win it. I got to win it. It just motivates me in a different way. And for me, it also is an example to show my team that I'm always doing the things that I'm asking them to do, that I don't just offer these nuggets and assignments for them that I don't do myself. It shows them that I am authentic, that I am real, that I love a prize. And I love, like on the convention contest, when you start seeing you rank in those places, I love it. So, and also rustic cuffs, they are part of my love language now, and Shannon is totally also responsible for that, because she started sending them to me as gifts. I love to get a present in the mail. I love to get a card in the mail, because why? That's real, guys. That's real emotion. That's somebody taking the time out of their day to stop and either write you a note from their heart or send you something that's real and authentic. So I'm drawn to that. Buzzwords not to say. That kind of just made me laugh when I was first thinking about that one. Don't focus on the money and recognition with them. Don't start telling them you'll get to walk around across the stage, you'll get this and you'll get that, because we're not about that. I'm not recognition driven, although I like a prize. But I don't do what I do. That's probably why some of you don't have a clue who I am or where I came from or how Tammy and Kelly even know me, because people don't tend to know who I am because I'm not recognition driven at all. I stay with my circle, and my circle has branched out. And I'm so thankful for the people that God has sent to me through Plexus, and it has really widened my circle. But I'm not one that seeks attention, although I really used to be before Jesus made lots of changes. So that was something I had to let him deal with me at the beginning, as I was ranking fast and all those things. And I had to make a choice. Did I want the focus to be on me, or did I want the focus to be on him? And when he got that across to me, it changed everything for me again. So don't talk a lot about their personal gain. Always focus on how they can help others through this, how they can help their causes and their ministries. Power partners, do we need power partners, or are we independents? And I did forget one thing. When you are using buzzwords, I love the word welcome to our Plexus family, welcome to our tribe. Even Shannon says this is my new business partner other than my team. Team doesn't give me all the feels. Those other words do, because they represent real relationships. So that's just another little tidbit. Power partners, yes, unless it's another yellow, and then y'all need to get somebody else in there too. Because yellows, although we're passionate and strong and driven for what we're passionate about, we need other people in our life that won't tiptoe around us and won't be scared to tell us the things that we need to hear. And when I first started, like I've told you, I'm emotional. I am the crier. If anybody needs somebody to cry, that is my job. You show me a sad commercial, I cry. If we have any victory on our team, I cry. Somebody has a hard day, I cry. I'm full of emotion. And Shannon and I had to get to the point, and it took some time and work, guys, that we had to learn how our personalities worked as far as business goes. She's one of the only people on this earth that can say, suck it up, buttercup, and me not fall apart or get mad at her, because I know now after all this time, when she sees me start veering off into that emotional state where I'm living only in the world of emotions, she reins me back in. Even my husband can't say suck it up, buttercup. Like, I would be all kind. Talk about feels, it wouldn't be good feels. I'd be all mad feels. But because we have established that relationship now, and we have given each other permission to call each other out when we veer too far to our predominant color, it works. If I didn't have a power partner in Sigma level 1, who we went so, at the beginning, we were just always together and growing, she's straight up red. So the people that I was running with and going with were opposites from me in a lot of ways, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I think it was the best thing for all of us, because we all started seeing how different we all were, but how it all could work together beautifully when we let it. But you do have to grow that relationship, guys. You have to get to know us. It's a true relationship where you have the freedom to say those hard things that other people won't say, because if not, we're all off crying all day and crying over a commercial we saw on TV or something we read on Facebook, and we're totally just in that lane. Don't come back. We need people to pull us back. So yes, if you're yellow and your power partner is yellow, that's the love fest going on. Total love fest. And love fests are great, but you also need to pull somebody in, not a yellow, for you to be the best that you can be. DMOs and structure in yellows. Y'all, wish I could see like the smiley face, because I was going down this list over these questions, because I had to learn trial and error, through seeing what was working for me, what wasn't important. I'm not going to tell you that I have a straight up DMO that I follow every day, because I do not. I could pretend that I do, but I operate out of how the Lord's leading me to talk to this person or this person, or today I want you to do this with your kids, or today I want you to focus on this. And that's the way my business runs. So that doesn't really fit in a DMO. But if I didn't keep my planner with things written down, I would be a goner. I used to be a goner. I would forget calls all the time. I'd forget that I need to talk to this person or that person, because I'm passionate about Plexus. And I want y'all to understand that it changed my life. It has changed everything about my life, about the life of my family. But my true passion comes from the Lord. So I've had to learn how to rein back in and go to my second passion, which God gave me the passion for Plexus. But I tend to waver towards the ministry side, because I love it. I love everything about it. And then I'll go, girlfriend, what's enabling you to do all that ministry? What's enabling you to give this money and do these things? It's Plexus. Get yourself back focused, look at your planner, and do the things that you have committed to doing. And I had to learn to do that. So if you have a yellow, you need to lovingly don't start throwing DMO at them. And I need you to accomplish this every day. Y'all, 531 about gave me a panic attack the first time when I was hearing about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I can commit to all that. Where's life for me? Spending lots of time with people and loving on them and listening to them. Don't start throwing those kind of terms at your yellows, but start working with them to see how being organized helps them help their team. When I'm more organized and keeping track, I'm better for my team. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It has to do with how I'm serving them. So I always kind of go that way. But yes, we need DMOs, but mine's probably not anything what yours looks like. How can they best be supported? And I'm gonna end in a minute with some of that, because I actually asked Shannon some questions about me to kind of help you guys get a picture into dealing with a yellow jewel. And guys, one of the things that when I talk about my mistakes, I wrote them down, and not really mistakes, let's call them my learning curve, the things that I look back now and areas that I needed to grow in. And I was leading from emotion for a while. That doesn't work. You can have conversations with your team members, with your level ones, one-on-one. And yes, let that part of you, y'all, that's what draws people to us, is that we have this thing that people know we care about them, that we pour into people. That's why people that love us. So I'm not asking you to stop that, because I will never stop being who I am. But you have to learn how to go and turn that emotion off to make decisions that are best for your business and best for your team. Leading from a place of emotion, you're limiting yourself. You're holding yourself back. You're not contributing, because the scripture tells us that we cannot rely on our emotions, guys. We can't. It is part of who we are and a big part of a yellow. But you have to learn how to make decisions, and not just for your business, guys, with your family, with your obligations at church, with the activities with your kids. You can't always go, well, that would be that. That'll make them all happy. That'll make everybody happy but me, and I'm going to do it. And then you do it, and you're so overwhelmed that you can't do the 3 other things that you committed to. You can't do that. You cannot always make decisions based on emotion. So all my yellows out there, it's the best thing. And Shannon helped me a lot with that. And it's the best gift you could ever give yourself and your family, is to learn how to cut that emotion off for a few minutes. You'll be amazed at the changes in your productivity and how everything that you're really setting out to do is getting accomplished. If you live in the world of emotion, I can't say that you will never be a jewel or a diamond, because that's not my call. But I'm telling you, I would not be progressing and have sapphire in my sights and knowing I'll be a diamond one day if I continue to lead over emotion. It just wouldn't have happened, because it's impossible. And yellows need to balance, guys, because look, this is a business. At the beginning, I'm not a businesswoman. I don't like business, blah, blah, blah. But y'all, I had to totally reshift my mindset about that. This is a business. I have to run this as a business. Yes, the characteristics of my yellow that are strong help my business, help it grow and succeed. But I had to learn how to make business decisions, because no matter how we look at it, it is a business. If you look at it as a business, you respect it in a different way. It is what it is. It's a lot of work in it. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of commitment. So do yourself a favor and start cutting that off. And you have to find a balance. You have to find a balance between what your other closest color is and your yellow, for you to be the best person you can be. Because God didn't only give us one trait, did he? He gave us lots. And although we have one that's stronger, we have to learn to dig and look for those other gifts that he has given us to share with other people. Because the whole thing about yellows is we want to share. You have so much more to share, I hate to say, than just your yellow, because there's no such thing as just your yellow. But there's so many other things that you have to share and contribute to people's lives with and interact with people. There's so many things that you're missing out on if you don't look past your initial yellow. For those of you that have yellows on your team, listen to me. You can't tiptoe around us. Like I said, we're not little wimpy people that are meek, and most yellows are very strong because we're passionate. Don't tiptoe around it. If you see a yellow on your team that's struggling because of their yellowness, you've got to reach your hand out to them. You've got to say, hey, love, I see you working your tail off. I see the way you love and pour into your team and how you give all your time to them. Maybe you're working way too much. Let's talk about some things that you can do that'll free some more time up for the kids. Let's talk about some things that I can do to help take this pressure off of you that you're feeling. You have to redirect them. I would never be the kind of leader and the kind of person I am right now if I didn't have people that weren't yellows pulling that out in me. Because, you know, as much as the relationship, Shannon, our relationship has changed me for this business, it changed me for even greater purposes, because our ministry that my husband and I have started, guys, if I couldn't make a decision without emotion, I would have already thrown in the towel. I had to learn how to deal with ministry as the type of business that it is, because it is. I would have floundered and quit and been so emotional in a basket case that it would have never even gotten off the ground. And some people, sometimes y'all as believers, and especially as yellow believers, we get into this trap of thinking, oh, we can't ask for too much now. We need to just take this little bit right here that God gave us, and we're so thankful. But money, we don't need a lot of money now. We don't need a lot of that. Baloney. It's like, that is a trap we put ourselves in as yellows. Mistaking humility and being humble for what it is. God did not create any of us to live in the land of just enough or barely enough, and he certainly didn't create us to live in a land where we did not have the resources to do the work he gave us to do. So you've got to move past that and understand that just so long you don't put money above God, he is great with us having it. In fact, he wants to give it to us because we are the people, especially the yellows, guys, that will to work to further the kingdom, that want to work to make a difference in people's lives for Jesus all over the world. So stop thinking that you need to feel guilty or bad about wanting this and wanting to go for it, thinking this isn't godly, that I'm not caring about other people. Yes, you are. With so many of you that are yellow, he is trying to use this business to open doors for you to be able to give in ways you have never even imagined you can give. Guys, it's like, for me, with orphan care and adoption ministry, I've been able to write checks to help people finance their adoptions that I could have never written before. My husband and I have been able to serve people in different ways that we would have never been able to do before if we were always worried about money, because we still gave when it hurt. But can I tell you something? It is the biggest blessing in the world when you realize that you can give as much as he tells you to give. You can give extravagantly. You can make a huge change in this world with the money that comes through Plexus. So don't be ashamed of that, and don't apologize for that. You walk right into that, what he has for you, and he will send you people along the way to change things about you and to help you be the best person you can be. So I want to tell you, because I asked Shannon, I'm going to read these to you as I end, because I said, you know, I want to tell them what you've learned through working with me, through us doing this together. I want you to give them tips for working with their yellow from your perspective. So she said her biggest tip for working with a yellow, and y'all, when you hear all this, I swear it's like she just wrote a Lou love story and I just copied it down. Yellows feel big and hard about whatever they're working on, completely passionate about what they're driven by. Be the person that supports that. Encourage them to pursue it full out. Then support them in other ways they may need the help. Like I talked to Linda ago when she had to pull me out of different places. But I'm so passionate about the things God's given me passion for. And when she learned that about me and like really what did fuel me, what I am passionate about, y'all, it just went like boom, everything changed. Now, Shannon is green all day long. Shannon loves the Excel spreadsheet. She loves the numbers. She loves the graph. She can tell me who ordered last month, who didn't, blah, blah, blah. I don't know all that. I don't want to know all that. She loves all that. I don't, but it'll make more sense when I explain this to you from her perspective. So the biggest change Shannon had to make. She said, I had to learn to not expect you to do things my way. I see numbers and details. You see hearts, and then you see more hearts. I had to learn to be more cognizant of the words I chose and how I spoke them, because I wanted to speak to you, not at you. Think about that. She knew me. She knew what I responded to. She knew she had to change the words that she used, the things that appeal to me, the things that don't, the things that totally turn me off. So I knew she was talking to Lou. She wasn't giving me a spiel. She wasn't just giving me a list. I asked her what the biggest change she'd seen in me. Teaching me to not let my emotions run when it comes to my business. Teaching me that there's a time for my emotions and there's a time when I have to push them to the side. She said, the moment you realized you didn't have to carry everyone's burdens was huge. Because I did. Yellows love to carry everybody's burdens. You now give as much as you can to people, but don't feel guilty if they don't utilize the tools to grow their business. Because that's the truth, guys. As a yellow, I tried to bring everybody with me. I tried to pour so much into them that I did not pour into myself. Even for a while, I did not pour enough into my family because I was pouring into these people all the time and trying to give them every bit of me and trying to do everything and so I could encourage them and motivate them because I want this for you, because I love you so much. I want your family to change. I want your life to change. Let me just give until I was empty. I had to learn to stop and fill myself up because we can't give to others when we are dried up and empty. And now, do I still pour into my team? You better believe it. Do I love them? You better believe it. Am I invested in every one of them and celebrate their victories? Yes, I do. But I don't feel responsible for people anymore that will not take and grab this opportunity. I used to feel like it was my failure or my fault if someone did not succeed and grow. It's not my fault. I can't make people do what I want them to do. I can't make them feel the way I want them to feel. I can't make them express themselves the way I want them to. And that's okay. And that's the beauty of this business, guys. There are 4 very distinct colors. And when we learn how to put those together, when we learn to push our egos to the side, not think we have to be, Charlie in charge and bossing everybody and managing everybody. When we can learn to plug our colors and gifts into like this, it's like a beautiful pie. It really is. If you think about it, you put all these ingredients in a pie and then it's perfect for everybody to partake from. It's the same thing with your team. When you learn how to take instruction from other people and be coachable and develop authentic relationships where you can say the hard things you need to say, then the whole team, they're the ones that benefit from it, because you're not just giving them a tunnel vision of what your business looks like. You're letting them see what your upline's business, your downline, your sidelines. You're bringing it all together, because there's probably not another, even there's not another yellow exactly like me. God's given me different dreams and visions and gifts and passions than he's given them. So even with as yellows, we're different, but just learn to embrace what makes you you Also learn that there's always room for improvement. There's always professional development. And with me, it didn't look the same way as it did for Shannon. Shannon could read those books all day long that bore the mess out of me. I have been attending the Global Leadership Summit for 2 years, and that's a godly approach to leadership. Changed everything for me. I feel such huge growth when I come from that. And then I tend to read those books that they recommend, and I look at leadership from a ministry Christian perspective, mainly. That's my personal development. So quit carrying the burdens for everybody. Lay them down. We're not supposed to carry them anyway. That's his job. Open yourself up, and just, guys, all the yellows around you, never underestimate them. Because let me tell you something. You get that passion fuel towards this business, you get them understanding the connection between that thing they want to do to help people and how Plexus can help it happen, and you just sit back, because magic happens. So don't underestimate, just pour into them and love them, and they'll appreciate that. And that changes everything for us yellows.
All right, Lou, thank you so much for sharing with us. Your heart shines through. And I'm telling you, I took notes, and I cannot wait to go back and watch it again, because there's so many things that you said. It was like, revelation. Even though I've studied this, whenever you spoke it, it was revelation, and it was like, oh my, that's something that I'm doing or something I'm not doing that I need to do better. You're right. We can't live by emotions, but they're not bad. They're not a bad thing. Balance is good. And that's what these 4-color personalities has brought to us, is that we may all be different, but like you said, we make a beautiful pie. We make a beautiful rainbow. Thank you very much. And I know that by listening to this call, and there are many, many who will listen to the call in the days to come, that will be many people's lives changed in how they view the world whenever they're dealing with a yellow. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Next week, we have an awesome call going to be coming to you. It's going to be from Amy Paul, and she's going to be talking to us about how to work your business, networking. If you have a network, or if you have maybe you've been in the business for 5 years and you think your network's gone, Amy's going to help us in how to network. And we definitely want to listen to her, because she's doing something right. All right. You guys have a great evening, great week. And I can't wait to you, Lou, in Las Vegas.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
Bless all of you and your businesses. I'm gonna
pray. Yes. Oh, God bless you. And we'll see you guys on the team page.